Hello again, this is Caesar with More Options Coaching, and I have a very short blog today about the power of now, or living in the present, living in the now, in the moment. Yesterday I was talking with somebody, and I brought up this concept, and I was surprised to find out that that person actually told me that she read about or she listened to some video or somebody talking about the fact that there is no present. There is only past or only future, but there is no present. And I was surprised. I wasn't aware about somebody popularizing such a concept of no present being possible. So I looked online and I noticed that indeed some people are talking about not being any present but only past or only future, because the moment when you look at something that you think is present, it's actually already past because it's passed away, it's already done. And they go into deep analysis like what's the present moment? It is a second, it is a fraction of the second, it is 1,000th of a second, or whatever it is. And I stepped back and I realized that they are right. In a sense, they are right. It's true. I mean, there is no present. The moment you look, it's already past. It's true in a sense. But then I thought again, and I realized that actually they are trying to explain consciously, with the conscious mind, with their conscious mind, with the ego, that is, something which pertains to the unconscious mind. Because present indeed is a concept which can be felt. It cannot be explained in words, cannot be pointed at. And by definition, conscious mind ego, it's actually afraid of being in the present. He likes only being in the past or in the future. Actually, he can survive only in the past or in the future. I believe a very good book about the subject, it is The Power of Now, of Eckhart Tolle. And so that's the thing, trying to explain with the conscious mind what the present moment is. It's like trying to get an explanation of what flying, on a plane is from somebody who is afraid of flying and who never flew a plane in his life, but he's explaining to you, and you're asking that person to explain to you what flying is and what is not. So I was thinking, how can you explain to somebody? How can you convey, actually, because it's a sense, you cannot explain. How can you convey to somebody this perception, what present moment really is? And I thought of this example, and I'm wondering if you agree with me or not. I thought of this example. Let's say you have a challenging event coming up somewhere in the future. Let's say you have to deliver a speech, or you have to talk on a very important meeting at work tomorrow or a couple of days from now. And most people would, when you think about that event, are going to feel those butterflies in the stomach, maybe being afraid or anxious about that. And I'm defining being anxious, being afraid of a future moment, as living in the future, as being in that future. Whereas, if I can think of that particular event coming up from an observer position, just noticing, yes, that event is going to happen somewhere in the future, but I am observing it. Now that's a sign that I am in the present. And the same goes for the past. If I'm looking back at some event that happened in my past, let's say, if I feel shame or guilt or strong feelings about that particular event, then that means I am in the past. That means I am in the past. However, if I can look from an observer position to that event, noticing that event happened to somebody who is Caesar, for instance, if you wish, in a dissociated type of looking at things, if I can look from that position towards that situation, that means I am in the present looking at that event rather than through that event. When I'm looking through that challenging event in the future, or that guilty producing event in the past, I'm looking through those events, then I'm either in the future or in the past. But if I can look at those events, if I can look at that meeting, which is going to come somewhere in the future, or looking at that event which happened a long time ago, so now I can collect the learnings, for instance, or I can look at that event and being able to collect the resources in order to prepare for that event, then that means I am in the present. That's the way I see it. That's my definition, if you like, or how can you tell if you are in the present or somewhere else, carried by the conscious mind, by the ego, either in the future or in the past. And let me know, what do you think about this distinction? This is what I came up with. If you think of better ways to make this distinction in somebody's minds, let me know. Until then, take good care. Enjoy the rest of the day. Take care. Bye for now.